Welcome back. We're in Chapter 5 QuizA, question number 1. Let's take a minute and read the prompt. The 5-number summary for midterm scores, number of points, the maximum possible score was 50 points. From an intro stats class is, minimum was 16.5, quartile 1 was 32, median was 39, quartile 3 is 43.5, and maximum is 48.5. Okay, so these are our midterm scores out of 50 points. Okay, so let's draw a box and whisker. Let's take a minute and talk about what the number line would look like. Our minimum value is 16.5 and our maximum value is, 48.5. So I probably would go from 15 to 50. Okay, so take a minute and let's set up our box and whisker plot. When I did that, my box and whisker plot looks like this. Here's my minimum, 16.5, Q1, 32, median is 39, Q3, 43.5, and max is 48.5. All right, so we're taking a look at this box and whisker. And hopefully you guys can see that this box and whisker is skewed to the left. Okay, so let's look at our first question. Would you expect the mean midterm score for all students who took the midterm to be higher or lower than the median? Explain. Well, we see in this box and whisker we have skewed left. That means that we have some smaller values than we would expect. I mean, looking at the central tendencies, they seem to be in the 30s, 40s, and then this is 16.5. So I would expect the mean to be lower than the median. So looking at the box plot, the data appears skewed to the left. Therefore, the mean midterm scores for all students would probably be lower than the median. Based on the 5-number summary, are any of the midterm scores outliers? So to determine outliers, we need to find the IQR. And as you know, IQR is Q3 minus Q1. And there we go. Our IQR is 11.5. Then we're going to take the IQR and we're going to multiply it by 1.5. And in order to find the lower fence, it's Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. So Q1 was 32. Subtract 1.5 times the IQR. That's 14.75. That's called our lower fence. And our lower fence is 14.75, so anything below that would be considered an outlier. 16.5 is not below 14.75, so we have no small outliers. Okay, so now let's take a look at our upper fence, and our upper fence is Q3 plus 1.5 IQR, so 43.5 plus 1.5 times 11.5, that's 60.75. And notice our maximum value is 48.5. So if we had any numbers larger than 60.75, they'd be considered high outliers. And in fact, we don't. So there are no outliers in this data set. And that's why my box and whisker does not involve any outliers. Okay. So since both the maximum and minimum scores fall between these fences, there are no outliers in this data set. That concludes Chapter 5 QuizA, Question 1.